Okay, so the next question comes from @sunlight2003, and the question is, do you sing? I can hold a tune, but I am by no means a singer. I sing in auditions for on camera. I sing in some of my animation shows, and I'm actually really glad that I was limited in my talent of singing, because I think if I were better at it, or I felt like I had professional potential, I probably would have picked up and left for career years ago to become a pop star or something, or in pursuit of becoming a pop star. And I'm really glad I didn't, because I really am happy in my career path as an actress. And so yeah, I can sing. I'm not tone deaf, but I am not a pro. All right, next question is from @JoeBenavita5. Can we see baby Charlotte? Okay, so the next question comes from @Zuritoski. Were you the cheerleader in Disney's Shake It Up? I absolutely was. I guest starred on this show years ago as Candy Cho, and it's one of my favorite episodes that I've ever shot. And it's because I used to be a varsity cheerleader in high school, and I really, really loved that I was able to apply that experience to my professional work life. Working with Bella Thorne and Zendaya was awesome. They're both very sweet and professional, and it was a really great experience. Also, I had to go through a grueling audition process for that role. I beat out a lot of people, and so when I finally got it, I was extremely happy. All right, so the next question comes from Cabbage Royale. How do I tell a guy at the gym that I think he is cute? Okay, so me personally, I feel like I've given really good love advice before, and sometimes it's not always the most, I don't know, I guess modern way of looking at things, but I kind of am all about like flirting and subtlety, as opposed to being like too forward about how you feel or you think. I find that is kind of a really good approach with a lot of things in life. And so I think, flirting or being playful is a really good way to go. So if you think he's cute, just being like, oh my gosh, you're so cute, or whatever, but not making it's such a serious thing, but just dropping clues that you think that, the person that you're talking to is attractive, and hopefully they'll pick up on it and reciprocate or come back with a strong response. That way you also protect your heart, because when you put yourself out there like that, and let's say he's taken, or let's say he doesn't feel the same way about you, the last thing you want to do is have a wasted gym membership, because you're like, oh my god, I have to avoid seeing this guy, and it's the last, it's just really, your exercise comes first, then the guy, girl. So just make sure that, I'm getting really adamant, but just make sure that, you're wise about your approach in letting this guy know how you feel. Okay, so the next question comes from JTruth9419. Have you played a musical instrument before, and what kind of music do you like? So yes, I have. I grew up playing piano for a little bit, but with that sort of background or that basis, piano wasn't my thing, so I ended up playing the clarinet and really enjoyed that in junior high and high school. It was a really great experience being a part of band and orchestra and traveling and all of that with fellow musicians, and it was a great experience. I have a very eclectic and vast sort of taste in music. I grew up on hip hop and rap, and of course R&B, and but even ska and country and rock and contemporary classical. So I love all kinds of music. Right now, especially if I'm like at home or if I'm cooking or trying to kind of keep a calm environment, I listen to the Bossa Nova channel or Bossa Nova station on Pandora. All right, next question comes from He's Gay, and it is, how do you deal with people who are patronizing you for being short, and do you still have my mug? Of course I still have your mug. It's in my cupboard, and even though you guys know that I have a caffeine intolerance, I still drink coffee once in a while outside of the home, but at home I drink tea, and so yes, I do use it once in a while. The question about being short, I am also vertically challenged, and so I have felt that from time to time. But when it comes down to it, you don't really know why somebody is treating you the way they are. And if you are sure because they're making fun of you for it, that's really stupid of them and not you. And something that you can't change about yourself anyway. So my advice is to be confident in who you are, what you're saying, and in yourself. And if you feel that it makes you feel uncomfortable because somebody is patronizing you for any reason, express it to them. These past couple years, I've been all about transparency and just being myself, because I feel like even though sometimes being direct can come off as, off-putting or whatnot, at the end of the day, people want to know the truth. People want to know who you are and what you're thinking, and hiding it doesn't help. And so be very forthcoming. Also, for me, when I feel like anybody is being patronizing, I always lower my voice, and that changes everything. All right, so the next question comes from @Morgan_MandarinJuice_shop. What is my opinion on D.va, and do I feel she is me or represents parts of me? I love this question because I get this question a lot at my personal appearances and panels at Comic-Cons. The short answer is definitely, all credit goes to Blizzard Entertainment when it comes to the design of what she looks like and her storyline. But when I came up with her voice and developed her voice, I definitely put parts of me in her. And I think that she is, and I am, a sassy, opinionated, hardworking girl. And so I definitely see her and me and her. I don't know if you guys know this, but she is also a symbol of feminism in Korea. She was used, the bunny was used as a symbol at the women's marches, and I think it's really cool that she's sort of risen to that political level. I identify as a feminist, and I know that's controversial, but all that means to me is that I believe that women and men should deserve equal rights, and that I believe in the fight for women's equality. It does not mean that I feel that women need to overrule men or anything like that, although we run the world. Yeah, and I believe that D.va represents that. She is small, and she's Asian, and she looks young, is cute, and sounds young too, and all of that can mean that the world perceives her a certain way and underestimates her, but she, I think, goes against all of that and shows that she can be a symbol, or she can be a character of strength and power. And so all that to say, I can go on and on about this, but yes, I do see myself in her and her in me. Okay, so the next question comes from @Mikel_Sax17, and the question is, voice acting advice. Okay, I got a lot of questions in the comments about how did you break into showbiz? How can you give me advice on becoming an actor or a voice actor? First of all, I'm going to start off with voice acting. I think it's really important to remember that no matter what kind of acting you're doing, whether it's theater or commercial or TV or film, that you are a good actor. You gotta always stay in class, always be working on your craft, always be studying, and let that be the foundation for any kind of performance art that you do, including voice acting. There is a very prolific voice actor named D. Bradley Baker, who actually happens to be in Overwatch as well, and he has a website called iwannabeavoiceactor.com. So check that website out. It's a really good sort of starter website with a lot of information about how to become a voice actor. For me personally, and this kind of goes into another question about how did you get to where you are, and what was the path to success in life, and that's from @What'sTay. I'm just kind of combining these two questions together because they're sort of an overall career question. One of these days, I'm just going to do a live Instagram story and tell you guys sort of my testimony about how I became an actor in general, and how, as an Asian American woman, what that's been like, that journey has been like. But I don't consider myself successful by any means yet. I feel like I am striving to be successful every day, but I feel like that whole journey has been one that has been guided. For me, I'm a God person, and it's been guided by God, and every step of the way. I was working solely on camera, on film and television for 8 years before I got a shot at voice acting. And then I started juggling both on camera and voice acting thereafter. So it has been an incredible journey. All I have to say is that no matter what kind of career you're in, you've got to never, ever give up. And always believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. Oh my gosh, I feel like these answers are getting so long. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to get 30 questions done. The next question, so I'm going to try to race through these, but the next question is, how has being a part of the Overwatch community changed me? It has changed my life. Oh, this question is from @blake.lucky. It has changed my life I could cry in more ways than you guys can ever possibly imagine, personally, but also professionally. And when it comes to being a part of the community, I think what it has done is connect me to people in the world in a way that I could have never imagined. I think that I'm fortunate to be in a profession that allows me to connect with people internationally. And it's just been amazing. What it has taught me is that we're all human, and that I love that in the community we struggle and we strive all together. We succeed together, and we can relate to each other, whether it's through gameplay, whether it's through the love for the cinematics, whether it's cosplay, whether it's meeting each other at conventions. There's just so many ways that we have connected as human beings, and for that I'm super grateful. And I'm also grateful for this very large platform that I've been given, and the love and the trust that you guys have in me. It's been an amazing journey that I'm very grateful for. All right, next question comes from @Patrick_JKI, and it is, what has been a fan interaction that has affected you in a really positive way? I love this question. It's going to be one that requires me to be very open and honest, but I have been exposed because of the Overwatch community and all the personal appearances I've done throughout the country and the world to the LGBTQ plus community in a larger way than I had been exposed to before, and particularly with the trans community, and especially as somebody who identifies as a Christian, and I fortunately was not in a Christian community that was very intolerant, but at the same time was sort of not very vocal about the love of God when it comes to the LGBTQ community. And my heart has just broken and also opened up and grown so much, especially for the trans community. And really, I guess my belief and the message I want to send is that God loves everybody, no matter what. It doesn't matter what you feel, the kinds of requirements you feel that you need to have for God to love you. God loves everybody, and I have been just graced by so many people in the LGBTQ plus community. So I think that when it comes to fan interaction, I have so many memorable ones, but the one that has impacted me the most and has changed my perspective about a lot of things in life is the LGBTQ community. Okay, so the next question comes from @Krishna_Natarajan, and the question is interest versus salary when it comes to career. In my humble opinion, interest first, interest always, and passion and all of that first, and salary will come. I'm a firm believer in if you do what you're passionate about, and you would do the job whether you get paid or not. Whether you get paid or not, you would want to do this job. That is the job that you want to go for. I know that for practicality reasons, it's not always practical to say, oh, I would do this for free. Of course, we all need money to be able to survive and live, but I'm a firm believer in the philosophy that if you do what you're passionate about and you chase your dreams and you go for something based on your interest and what you want to do, the money will follow. Just trust. Okay, so which leads me to my next question from @JoeyWen and @IamCrazy. The two questions are, what do you do for motivation to keep yourself progressing towards your life lifelong goals? And what do you do when you get lost and you hate what you do? Do you continue or find another passion? Okay, I have a very strong opinion about that last question. Do not continue. I would say find another passion. I think that if you're miserable doing what you are doing, I don't think that it's wise to stay in it. I think that, unhappiness within yourself spreads unhappiness to others, and you should be doing yourself a service and loving yourself by finding a true purpose in life that makes you feel fulfilled. So definitely, I would say change course if you can. I know that's not always financially practical, but do what you can to try to get yourself into a direction that you will find more fulfillment and happiness. And also, when you do get lost, whether it's something life-related or career-related, that's always a good time to really step back and evaluate what you feel is making you feel that way. And so start little, start from the small things and then really start kind of allowing yourself to explore why you feel that way and do something about it. Okay, so the part 2 of that question, what do you do to keep motivated towards progressing in your lifelong goals? If we're talking about careers specifically, sometimes there's setbacks. Everybody has a difficult coworker or a difficult situation they're dealing with, and I think it's just really important to set goals in mind that are very clear and that are attainable. So there's micro goals and then there's long-term goals, and and find the fun in accomplishing those micro goals in order to get to those big goals. I do resolutions every year. I make them very simple, though I don't make it all complicated and hard to attain. And I think allowing yourself to feel the progression that you're making in your lifelong goals is part of keeping yourself motivated. If you need a day of rest, if you need a day of moping, allow yourself all of that. I think that people only show the best sides of themselves on social media, so oftentimes we think that we're the only ones that are not progressing in life, but that's absolutely not true. Everybody, you guys already know this, but everybody has their ups and downs. Allow yourself the grace to celebrate the wins and to mourn the losses. And whatever you do, don't give up. Don't give up. Something that I used to do to keep motivated was to reward myself with a celebratory meal every time I booked a role. So this is not like any deep advice or anything like that, but this has to do with celebrating the wins. Anytime I got a small role or a big role, whether it's on television or voiceover or commercial or whatever it was, I would splurge on a good sushi meal at my favorite local sushi restaurant, and really take the moment to enjoy the win. Because if we don't do that, then what's going to motivate us? And yeah. Nothing more motivational than good sushi. And you guys curious where I go? I go to a lot of different sushi bars. I love sushi. But locally, I go to a place called Sushigen, and I sit at the bar. So maybe you'll see me there. Celebrate the wins. Okay, I didn't quite get to 30 questions, but I'm going to wheedle it down to 2 last questions because it's just getting really late. But and I'll address the other questions later. Some of them just have really long answers, and I don't want to just put it out there on an Instagram story. But the second to last question is, how do you hold it together when life gets overwhelming? I do a lot of different things, but I want to share something that I think that most people miss, and it's this: ask for help. I think it's really easy, especially in the United States and other communities that are much more, or societies that are much less interdependent, because we really glorify individualism and independence. I think those are great attributes and characteristics of a person, but I think it takes an element of wisdom and humility to say, hey, I need help, whether it's from a friend, a spouse, a coworker, a family member, anybody, a clergy member at a church or a pastor, whoever it is, when you feel overwhelmed, sometimes all you need is community and a helping hand or a loving heart to be around you and to support you. So never be afraid to step out of your comfort zone if that's what it requires, to ask for help when you get overwhelmed. Just know you're not alone. Okay, so this next question comes from @GakuSpace. How and where can I find someone and become a couple like you and Tom? Gaku, you so silly. Okay, so first of all, Mr. Gaku Space, you have so many choices out there, you ladies man. Second of all, you will find somebody. I know in my heart that you will find somebody very, very soon. Tom and I wanted to thank all our friends and the community for and all my followers for just the love and support that you give us and the encouragement. Tom and I are not perfect. We work really hard on our relationship, and I'll tell you more about me and Tom at another time and how we met and our journey and whatnot. Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that it really just delights us and encourages us in so many ways when you guys leave us comments or really support us. And so I just wanted to say that I'm just really thankful. We're both really thankful for you guys. And yeah, so more on that later. But it's been a long day. I think I've been on Instagram for a couple hours now answering questions. And so until next time, spread love and light to yourself and to all those around you. I love you guys.